The Dallas Cowboys defeat the New York Giants 28-10 on Thanksgiving. This really wasn't as close as the score says. It was a late touchdown, a late garbage time touchdown from the New York Giants in this one to make it 28-20. It was originally obviously 28-13, but the Dallas Cowboys continue to show their dominance in this one, defeating the New York Giants. Aaron, I know we talk about the Cowboys all the time. We talk about how they're like one of the most complete teams in the NFL, if not the most complete team in the NFL. So I don't want to keep harping on that. I want to talk about the Giants a little more here. They now lose yet another game after starting red hot this season. They lost last week to the Giants. They lost the week prior to they lost last week to the Lions, the week prior to the Seahawks, now to the Cowboys. They're kind of reeling a little bit after losing a few games and after really going on a streak. Where is your concern level with the Giants now moving forward as the playoff race continues to heat up? More teams start getting involved. The Commanders are not far behind them. Where are we at with the Giants right now?
I think we're in the same spot we were before. Well, let me clarify that I was before. I told everybody that this team is everything has to go right. This is a team that they're a good football team. They do have a good roster. The problem is on offense, if Saquon Barkley doesn't go bananas, they can't win games because they can't score enough. Everybody wants to give credit to Daniel Jones for what he's done this year. All Daniel Jones has done this year is be a game manager. He has not shown that he can be a franchise quarterback. And I think this is how the expectations of a player can shift over time. You take Daniel Jones with the number 6 overall pick. You're expecting a franchise quarterback. Through the course of his first 4 seasons, he's turning the football over. He's losing them games. He's costing them games. And so what do? We say, oh, he's not it. They need a different franchise guy. They go out and bring a coach in who changes Daniel Jones, changes everything about Daniel Jones that we've seen over the past 4 years. He's turned him into a game manager who doesn't turn the football over, but he's just managing the game. He's just doing enough to keep his team in it. And then we start to shift that conversation. Oh, he's played well. But no, we have to still remember that expectation that we had of him. This is almost identical to the argument I always bring up with Jimmy Garoppolo. It's not that Jimmy Garoppolo is not good. It's that Jimmy Garoppolo is a game manager who got paid $100 million to be more than a game manager. Nobody wants to talk about that. Everybody wants to just talk about how much they win and, oh, they're successful. And that's great. But are they winning you games when it matters? That's what they are paid to do. Jimmy was paid to do that. Daniel Jones was drafted to win you games when it mattered. And because he hasn't done that, they're where they are. They're a pedestrian offense when Saquon Barkley is not dynamic. And we saw it again yesterday. Saquon didn't have the best of days. Once again, Dallas's defense showed up. And Daniel Jones had moments, but the deep ball down the field to Darius Slayton, nice catch there. But then at times, it's like he still can't get over the hump. He doesn't have that skill set. The Giants are in trouble, and the Giants are the worst team in this division because of that reason. They are the worst team in this division because you look at Washington and their defense, and they're good. And you look at Washington and their weapons. Guess what? They got more weapons than the New York Giants. They don't have Saquon. They don't got a guy like Saquon, but they have Samuel and McLaurin and Antonio Gibson and Brian Robinson. Like, they have more to give. And then you look at Taylor Heinicke, and I'm sorry, but if you lined up Taylor Heinicke right now next to Daniel Jones, you couldn't tell the difference. They're both athletic. Right. They both can run around. They both can throw the ball when they need to, and they're both going to throw bad passes at points in the game. So right now, the Washington Commanders are better than the New York Giants. The New York Giants are the worst team in the NFC East. They're still solid. They'll still win some games, but losers now in 3 of their last 4. And I don't know that trend continues down or doesn't continue down the stretch. They play the Commanders 2 of the next 3 games. They play the Eagles. So 3 straight division games. They have to go to Minnesota that 4th game. Then they play the Colts, and then they finish out with the Eagles again. So they have 4 division games in their last 4 division games in their last 6. And then they go on the road to the Vikings, the Colts being their easiest game. That's a tough stretch. And the Giants could find themselves out of the playoffs. Like, they really could find themselves out of the playoffs if they don't get some of these division wins over the next couple of weeks.
That's where I was kind of trying to get at here, is with them being right there in the wild card spot. Obviously, the NFC East crown is going farther and farther away from everybody, not named the Philadelphia Eagles. It's tough to be a Giants fan and now thinking, oh man, we had this hot start, And now we're this close to being out of the playoffs. Now, with you look at how the Seattle Seahawks, they were leading their division, and we're going to preview their game in a little bit. They were leading the NFC West, and now San Francisco is hot on their heels. The Seattle Seahawks have to go somewhere. They drop back into the wild card spot, and there's now becoming an absolute war in the NFC for the last wild card spots. And the Giants could be on the outside looking in. And you talked about it, how it was great that they were winning these games, but the underlying truth of the matter with the Giants has been there with the poor play of Daniel Jones and him not being able to get them over the hump. You look at it like almost like what the Tennessee Titans have with Derrick Henry, where it's like, okay, Ryan Tannehill has to step up at times or this team's never going to get to the next level. Same with the Giants, but it's just they're not on the Tennessee Titans level yet of being able to work around the inefficiencies of a Daniel Jones. And it showed in this game as they fall here to the Cowboys 28-10. They now move to 7-4. Cowboys move to 8-3. The Cowboys next up have the Indianapolis Colts at home. And like you said before, the Giants meet the Commanders in an NFC East battle. Big time game next week at home for the G-Men.